If you see right here, I've not just swollen my leg and grown bigger, but I've actually injured my leg. I've torn a calf muscle, 6 weeks of rehabilitation with this boot on, and a very, very tender calf as I rip the muscles in my calf. So I'm into a period of rehabilitation, and it's made me think a lot about every step I take. I have to be very careful to not step improperly, to put too much weight on my right leg. I can't go up steps easily. I use a cane. And in all of this time, I have been rehabbing, and I have been very mindful about my steps. Now, it's got me to thinking about another spiritual application of this very thing, and that is how we are to be mindful about the steps of our life in everything that we do, everything we say, and the consequences of that. Because I have to be very careful now how I step, but you know what? You and I should be very careful with the actions we take, the steps we take with our life. There's a scripture in Psalm 17, beginning in verse 4, that talks about this. 17, verses 4 through 6, we can read. It says this: "Concerning the works of men, by the word of your lips, I have kept away from the paths of the destroyer." Because of God's teaching, the psalmist is saying, I've kept my paths clean and right. He says, "Uphold my steps in your paths, that my footsteps may not slip." Great advice. Praying to God. I have kept my paths from the destroyer, and to God he says, "Uphold my steps in your paths, that my footsteps may not slip. I have called upon you, for you will hear me, O God." It's good advice. It's a good prayer to make. You know, some decisions you and I make are lifelong. They have long-term consequences. The job you take, the career you pursue, the person that you marry has lasting implications for the success and the happiness of your life. Get advice, get counsel. Take God as your help in that. Do what it says here to ask God to uphold your steps in his paths, that your footsteps may not slip. I'm thinking about every step that I take these days as I rehab my calf and just let it have the time to heal. Think about the steps that you take in your life and make sure that every one of them is sure. That's BT Daily. Join us next time.